I believe I'm live. Am I live? Someone in the chat, tell me I'm live. What am I doing? Someone tell me. Ladies and gentlemen of the Yo Bro Nation, welcome back to the channel. I apologize. This is uber late. This is the Squared Circle podcast, and today I'm talking about the Bray Wyatt thing. I meant to do this a couple days ago. Obviously, that didn't get to happen, so here I am. I'm live. Hi, how's everyone doing on this Monday afternoon? It's about 1:20 something-ish in the afternoon, but how is everyone? So yeah, Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt's a real thing, so yeah, we're going to talk about it. You see him over here and there. You see him over there. We are going to talk about Bray. I didn't really do the full setup like I should have with, whatever. But so before I get into that, a little bit of house cleaning. I'm going to talk about Bray, but I want to get this house cleaning stuff done and out of the way. First of all, apologies again for missing Money in the Bank. Stuff for family happened. Wasn't able to do it. I figured I can start doing YouTube shorts. So if more breaking news like this happens and I'm out and about, you trust and believe I'm putting out a quick short. So that's something I'm going to start doing. Oh man, I'm dying of thirst, guys. Just literally I'm dying of thirst here. But Bray Wyatt being released was definitely one of those things. I'm glad I found that. Was able to use it. It's excellent. So the big thing I want to talk about, other than like, share, and subscribe to the channel, get all the notifications by hitting that bell, ding ding, and you'll be able to come and watch us all the time. But so if you watched this channel in the last couple of months, I was supposed to start a WWE 2K20 thing, in which turned out to just start to feel very overwhelming, doing a Raw, a SmackDown, an NXT, a 205 Live, and a pay-per-view, and then trying to do some weird, crazy edits, which I showed clips of in a previous video, which I actually plan on maybe releasing that Raw, maybe. But I couldn't find myself being able to do it. So I went back to the drawing board, and I'm happy to announce that starting the Saturday of All Out at the beginning of September, I will be doing, and starting that Saturday, I'm starting with a pay-per-view, the Saturday of All Out. I'm doing this AEW 2K20, All Elite Wrestling's 2K20. I'm going to start doing that. I am super excited about doing this. All Elite Wrestling's 2K20. I'm starting with All Out. I will, the Friday prior, I believe, let me see, I'm going to look at my calendar here so I got all my dates right. So, let's see. So, on the 3rd of September, I will be releasing a preview to the show where I announce all the matches. You'll kind of get to start seeing what the roster looks like, and then you'll get the card for my All Out and my upload schedule, which is going to be pretty simple. Wednesday at noon, I'll upload my Dynamites. Tuesdays will be AEW Dark, and I will also probably do Rampage. Those 3 shows, they're going to be a whole lot simpler than what I'm currently was planning on doing. I am working on the roster. This gives me the rest of this month to get that and get everything in order to do these and stream them. Pay-per-views will become up as premieres. That's how I am intending on doing that. Pay-per-views will be premieres, where the other shows will just drop same time every day. It'll be an instant premiere. So you'll still be able to do the comments, live chats, whatever. And I'll be able to go and watch that stuff with you guys. So Tuesdays, And I'll talk about this again with a graphic where you guys see the days of the weeks, and you'll see how it's going to come out. But yeah, Tuesdays will be Dark, Wednesdays will be Dynamite, Fridays will be Rampage, and those will all be at noon. And then starting on the, let me look at my calendar one more time here, on the 4th of September. So September 3rd's the preview. Saturday the 4th will be All Out. And then on the 7th will be Dark, and Wednesday will be Dynamite. So that's how I got it planned out. That's my big announcement that I really wanted to talk about. I am not going to lie. I'm hyper excited. So, but what are we talking about today? We are talking WWE releases Bray Wyatt. Holy smokes, everyone. So let's talk about it. So, I'm sure, look, I'm late to the party with this, but I just wanted to really just, if nothing else, quickly get my thoughts out about this, because it's aggravated me. And no, I shouldn't be shocked. I should not be surprised that this happened, given the way this company has been working and has been operating. But let me get this before I go into this really. Let me wet my whistle before I really get into this. Okay, so AEW is possibly going to get the steal of a lifetime here. WWE, and I actually have it up here, so I'm going to pull this up. This was the tweet sent out this past Saturday. WWE has come to terms on the release of Bray Wyatt. We wish him well, or we wish him the best in all his future endeavors. Wow, WWE. So heartwarming. So heartwarming that you guys would say that. I mean, really, it's so sweet of you. You guys are so nice. Thanks. I think that's bogus. First of all, I think that's completely fucking bogus. But I'm not, I can't say I'm shocked. I can't say that I'm shocked because WWE and Vince McMahon don't like creative people in their company. They don't. They don't like creative individuals. They like people who are just going to say, yes, what do you want me to do? And that's it. Unless you are a Rock or an Austin or a Triple H or a Roman Reigns, someone of that ilk, you really can't say what you want to do. A John Cena, even. You can't say what you'd like to do. They don't like your creative input unless you're on the boss's good side. And from what reports are saying, with Bray Wyatt, it's hot and it's cold on whether Vince was for him or against him. And a lot of people within the company are talking about how Nick Khan, since coming in, has been given a lot more power than pretty much anyone has before him in years, and he's had a lot to say. The reports also are going on talking about how Bray Wyatt was pretty much told by Johnny Ace, people power, fucktard, that he is giving him, and he's getting the reins. That he's getting the reins. He's getting the boot because of budget cuts. It's a lot to unpack here. It's a lot to unpack. So I'll do my best here. Let's start with the obvious here. WWE's unwillingness to give creative, anything to people. And Vince and his hot and his cold nature, if you will, when it comes to Bray Wyatt. Look, Vince McMahon is a very fickle man, and he likes what he likes, right? That's just Vince McMahon. He doesn't really give too much care about how you feel. That's not what Vince's concerns are. He doesn't care. Vince doesn't. It's not of his concern what you think. Again, like if you're a Cena or a Reigns to some extent, or a Rock or an Austin or a Triple H or an Undertaker, if you're not one of those guys, you're not getting your input past maybe this. You hear people like Chelsea Green talking about standing outside of Vince McMahon's office for hours, for days, waiting to talk to this man to kind of hear what's being said, but then kind of told, yeah, but we're not going to go that route, so shoo along. Stuff like that. You hear stuff like that. Kind of makes me feel uneasy. I don't really like it. I don't like hearing stuff like that. That's why I like AEW so much, because no, not all the wrestlers have ultimate say in what they do. Obviously, Tony Khan, Young Bucks, Kenny, Cody, despite whatever rumors are that they have infighting, they still have some sort of control. Even for the bigger people, it's like, yeah, we'll take your input more seriously, but ultimately what we say at the end of the day is what's going to matter the most. But we can work together to come up with a thing that works for everybody. That's what I like about them. You have creative input, where in WWE it's you do what we say or nada. That's just, it's Vince McMahon's way or the highway. Now let's jump over to the whole Nick Khan thing. Nick Khan having all this power. Since Nick Khan took over, a year and a half or so ago, they did the Black Wednesday cuts. Okay, beginning of the pandemic, we kind of got it, right? Sucked when you're amidst a pandemic and you get ROH and Impact Wrestling who released nobody. You get an AEW who only released maybe 2 people, and that was only due because one of them was overseas and just couldn't get over here, and they couldn't do nothing with them. And the other one, because he had issues that AEW just didn't want to be a part of, and Jimmy Havoc, who was a good wrestler, but they did what they had to do. Now you get WWE, who does the Black Wednesday. You fast forward a year to the day, and they make a whole bunch of more cuts. And then you do another round of cuts, which I have a video. You guys can go and you watch it. It's on the channel, where I do a quick little reaction like, oh my God, Mickie James has been released. This one's been released. The Iconics have been released. And then we have another round of releases where Braun Strowman, Samoa Joe, and other, Aleister Black were all released. Now, WWE fucked up on some contracts, and now Aleister Black is Malachi Black, and he's in AEW, reaping the benefits, about to have his first match with Cody Rhodes, which he should win. I'd assume he'll win Wednesday night. Braun Strowman is living his life. He's getting some bookings for like $20,000. Samoa Joe came back, ultimately went to NXT. But Nick Khan's been making all these changes, and it's all for budgets. And it's almost like, and I've heard this, and maybe it's true. I have the belief that it could possibly be true, but maybe they are settling to get sold. It's possible. They might be getting sold off. I don't know. But the way Nick Khan has come in and got all this power that Triple H hasn't had, Shane hasn't had, Stephanie has not had, according to reports. He's got power that these others have never had to make these decisions with little to no pushback. Restructuring the company from the inside, combining departments and cutting departments and releasing talent, releasing staff and producers and all these people, restructuring the entire company, which a lot of businesses, if you look historically, do before they make a major sale. Cutting costs, which has been the reasoning for almost all of these releases lately, is budget cuts. They are restructuring. They are doing things to set up. I know y'all have heard this. I don't blame them as a business for doing this stuff. I don't. I get it. If I were a business, I would do what I felt like I had to for the best interest of my business. But I'm not. And that's not what I'm going to do. That's what I wouldn't do. So it is interesting to see how Nick Khan has been and will probably continue to. And it's funny because the next thing, the whole, speaking of budget cuts, Johnny Ace, John Laurinaitis, telling Bray Wyatt that he's being released, should I say, due to budget cuts. It's funny, Vince McMahon on a conference call the day before this happened for their, I think it's Q2 quarterly report, literally said that AEW was not competition in the same way that WCW was. In fact, you know what? Here, I'm gonna look up this thing. Let me hold on. Here we go. I'm going to look this up, guys. So, it's not there. There we go. From quarterly reports. There we go. Found it. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to read this whole thing. Okay, so get that out of the way. Somewhere in here is that quote. Looking for it. Here. Top 5 moments. I gotta find it, guys. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm looking for the direct quote, but I cannot find it. I don't know. So basically, he said AEW is not competition like WCW was. I'm not. I should have just had the report already here, but he says that it's not the same thing as it was when Ted Turner was coming in with all his billions of dollars and this and that. That he's not sure, what stock they put into their top stars, what's their investments, so on and so forth. But he said the words, perhaps, he's talking about the released talent coming to them. He's like, perhaps maybe we can give them more. Saying, maybe we can give them more talent. That's not the direct quote, and I couldn't find it, so I apologize. But that's kind of like the roundabout thing of what he said. Not directly, so don't quote me on his quote. But that is the basics of what he had to say. That maybe we can give them more. And what happens the very next day? Now, some people will sit there and tell you that, well, Zach, perhaps the two aren't one and the same. Perhaps it is two separate things. And maybe you're right. Maybe you're right that the two are not linked, that the two are not the same. I, however, would then tell you, maybe you're wrong. Maybe the one and the two are the same. Maybe they are the same thing. They are one and the same. That's the words I'm looking for. Maybe they are one and the same. It's just funny that he would make this quote during an investors meeting for their quarterly reports. Talking about maybe we'll give them more. And then the very next day, Bray Wyatt gets released. Now, I'm not going to go into the details of what has been going on. Now, the last time we all saw him was the night after WrestleMania on the Firefly Funhouse, where we thought they were going to start picking up a story with Alexa Bliss and himself. but they didn't. And then there's reports that he was still having issues with dealing with the grief of the Brody Lee death. There's reports of maybe his mother had passed away. I don't know, and I'm not going to dig into all that. All I can say is he's having some sort of mental health issues from reports, and I just wish him the best, and I just hope that he's okay. That's what I'll say. I hope that he's okay and that he does get better. But the reports is that he was preparing to come back this month, that he was preparing to come back for WWE this month, probably at SummerSlam. He probably was going to make a big return at SummerSlam. Doing what? I don't know. But that sucks. It sucks that that's not the case now. But a lot of superstars in the company have reacted, and it's not been favorable. But there's someone who really made us tick as far as Mickie James. And I'm going to read this because it's my favorite thing that's been said. Replying to the whole release of Bray Wyatt. She quote retweeted this, saying, "I think what you meant to say was, thank you so much for coming up with such an incredible gimmick, time and time again. One so cool and over, we really didn't know how to book it right, so we just gave it to someone else so we can still make all the money off of it and let you go." That is so... Mickie James, with the burn, man. Mickie, holy shit, she just burned them hard. I can't breathe now. I'm going to read this again. Thank you so much for coming up with such an incredible gimmick time and time again, because let's be honest, the Eater of Worlds gimmick was amazing until they buried it into the ground, and then the Fiend was awesome until they buried it into the ground. But one so cool, over and over, we really didn't know how to book it right, so we just gave it to someone else to make all the money. What sucks is she's right. She's right. When Bray Wyatt first came in, he was awesome. I loved the character, the whole Wyatt family thing. And they booked him strong all the way up through to WrestleMania 14. You know, after feuding with Daniel Bryan for WrestleMania 14, WrestleMania 30. Stupid idiot. That feud was really good. It was. Even with his feud with Daniel Bryan, which he won the match. He beat Daniel Bryan at the Royal Rumble. Then won the 6-man tag against The Shield at, Elimination Chamber, which was awesome. That moment was fantastic. So they booked him great, but then he hit John Cena, and then he started losing, and everyone kind of lost interest. So, he has a cool thing with Matt Hardy, but then Matt and him split up, and he disappears off TV, and then he finally reemerges with the whole Mr. Rogers gimmick, which leads into The Fiend, and everyone's like, fuck, this guy's awesome, which a lot of people would say, and I kind of agree, he peaked when he appeared at SummerSlam that year. Then he immediately went into the whole Seth Rollins thing at Hell in a Cell, where he did not win the title. And then they gave it to him, and then in Saudi Arabia, which, okay, fine. They built him up and built him up and built him up, seemingly to prepare him for Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, but then speared and jackhammered by Goldberg to lose the title in Saudi Arabia in February. Now, they did give him another shot when they put him up against John Cena at WrestleMania in the Firefly Funhouse, which was probably one of the two best matches on that card. The other being the Graveyard match. Those cinematic matches were fantastic. So I enjoyed those. But then he has this really dumb feud with Braun Strowman over the Universal title. And I hated that, which ultimately led him to win the title and lose it a week later to the tribal chief, Roman. Please, sir, please Please, head of the table, don't hurt me. You are my tribal chief. I'm kidding. For him to now have almost a year-long reign. And then we haven't seen him. He had this okay feud with Randy Orton. And then we haven't seen him but twice in the last 8 months. Just for him to be released. Like, fuck, man. Fuck. It's crazy. It's crazy how this happens. So yeah, WWE did run it into the ground. They did give the gimmick to another person. But that person does not deserve the hate in which she's been receiving. And I want to read to you guys her tweet. And then I'm going to go through some of these responses that she has gotten. So, here's what... She's getting a lot of hate, and it's not fair. Alexa Bliss did nothing wrong. But here it is. She says, I really am at a loss for words. Thank you so much, Wyndham, for everything you've done for this company. The most fun I've had working with you is with you. Such an amazing talent and the most kind person. I'm just in shock. People have shit on her for this. It's because she's been getting a lot of hate, and I'm gonna read her retweets. Okay, so here's her retweets, or not her tweets, but her. Let's see. I'm trying to find him. So like this one, Denise, someone or another. I don't know her name, but she says, I just saw that Alexa Bliss had to make her account private. And I just think whoever is directing mean comments to her is misguided in their anger. She does not deserve the backlash she is receiving. She was given a role to do. It's her job. She did it. It's not her fault. And this person who looks like Kayla Braxton, actually, let me look. No, I don't know who this is. A TV host. I don't know. But she's not wrong. She's not wrong. It's not her fault. Here's some of the comments people. Like this guy, Corin, Melver, F.E. Vents returns. Release her now too. Alexa, you ruined Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania. She had to make her account private now. You have to ask her yourself if that release is a work or not. It's not a work. What the fuck? Like this guy, Jay at Josh something or another. Watch out, Alexa Bliss. You're next. Fucking idiots. Without Bray, her character's dead. Her character was dead anyways. Alexa's Fiend carrot was dead anyways. I said carrot? Character. It was dead anyways. My wife loves her. She loves the fuck out of this character, but come on, man. The character's not doing it. All right, Lily can go stuff it. Does this cause her to lose her Fiend powers, or did she steal the Fiend power? Who fucking knows? They just gave her the gimmick and fired him. Makes no sense. Well, no, they gave her the gimmick and had plans, but it changed. And the one thing we don't know, maybe, I don't know, maybe he wanted out. I don't know. But I am going to look up, because someone said that Bray has actually tweeted in the last, nope, he has not. So someone said he finally quote tweeted something, but no, he has not. Anyway, so yeah, I don't know. She took his job. Sound like she's full of it. What are y'all talking? Her 15 minutes of fame? Are y'all stupid? I swear sometimes wrestling Twitter is just the worst, man. This girl does not deserve any hate. If you are going out there and you are hating on Alexa Bliss because someone else got fired, I hate to tell you, you're a fucking moron, okay? You're a fucking moron. She did not get him fired, okay? It wasn't something she did. he got let go. Either A, he asked for his release and WWE let him have it because he is having issues. He has been having issues. Or they let him go because they decided to let him go. It wasn't so, well, Alexa, you were given this, so we're going to let Bray go now, okay? Sound good to you? Oh, yeah, totally sounds great. I like that plan. It's not how it went. I get Mickie James' frustration. All right, I understand why she's a little upset, and I'll say it again. Thank you so much for coming up with such an incredible gimmick, time and time again. One so cool over and over, we really didn't know how to book it right, so we just gave it to someone else so we could still make all the money off of it and let you go. She's not firing off at Alexa Bliss for you people who thinks that she was. She's not. She's not doing that. She's frustrated because someone she knows was let go, even though he was a top merch seller, a bona fide main eventer in the company. Yes, I think he was bona fide main eventer, even though he wasn't always booked that way. But he was definitely able to reinvent himself to keep doing things like this. So, to me, yes, it's all bogus. It's all bogus that this is stuff that happened to him. It's just how I feel. So, that makes you ask the question, this is where I'm going to leave off with, is with this. Where does that put Bray Wyatt at next? Where do you go from here if you're Wyndham Rotunda? Well, you could go to Impact Wrestling, where they will embrace the crazy. You could reinvent the Fiend, per se, and do something like that. He'd fit in perfectly there. Or maybe he does more of the cult gimmick, akin to Waylon Mercy again, in AEW, and mixes it up with the Dark Order or something like that. The man could literally go anywhere and make it work. He's so... And I'm not the first person to say this, but he's so super creative. He's good at what he does. He's hot on the mic. He's a decent wrestler in the ring. He's an above average wrestler. And he's so creative. WWE, you will regret this. I promise you will regret this. You're going to regret it. But I've been going on long enough about this one thing. I've gone on long enough, so... That's my thoughts. That's how I feel. Bray Wyatt released. Happy Monday, everyone. Happy Monday. Stay safe out there, guys. For real. Stay safe out there. So, let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Be nice to each other. Everyone's going to have different opinions. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, hit that like button and share this video. But I'm Zach. This was the Squared Circle Podcast special, and I'll see you all in the next one. Stay safe, stay healthy. Above all else, join the nation. Talk to you later.